Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Kalika and you're going to be a craftier person after watching this video. We're replaceable and you're happy to help us leave? Okay. I used to work for a small fee-for-service non-profit. The average number of clients served was and is around 250. The average caseload is 12 but can range from 10 to 20 per person and may exceed 20 depending on circumstance. Non-management staff hover around 18 to 20 people. New staff aren't really able to effectively use client-authorised hours until several months in, so the organisation is reliant on senior staff to keep projected income up. This is relevant later. Keeping it as understandable as possible, one of the perks of being a senior staff member was receiving a personalised facilitated plan for your goals. Once the plans were done individually, everyone who received one from all regions of the organisation came together as a group to discuss. This was meant to be an opportunity to share, support each other, and figure out next steps. Since our plans were mostly done around our goals at the company, we had an honest conversation about what we need to be successful. It wasn't inappropriate in any way, and many of the needs we brought up were already being met. It was honestly just a facilitated discussion around how to keep focused on advancing our career there. Well, one person from another region with more weight didn't like how the day went, so they complained to their manager, who is also a personal friend. That manager worked herself up about it, created a news story, and went straight to the assistant director. The assistant director is a very reactionary person and isn't very well liked. Most just avoid or placate her. Everyone in my region at the group meeting gets an email from the assistant director saying we need to cancel all appointments and be in her office at a specified time the next day. Remember, we're senior staff. That means 5 of us cancelled our client-based appointments to go into this mystery meeting, losing the company money. The meeting comes. We're sat down in front of all of the managers in our region and the assistant director. She launches into us with the following highlights. How dare you use group time to provide feedback about the organisation? She's so ashamed and doesn't trust us to represent the company. Informs us that we wasted $7,000 of the company's money and that her toddlers behave better than us. She ends this 5-minute rant by saying that every one of us is replaceable and they'd be happy if we left. We 5 sit in stunned silence before the meeting is concluded and we all walk out. Turns out the assistant director never spoke to the facilitator, didn't consult any other attendees from other regions, in fact, didn't bother getting any additional information at all. To add insult to injury, my boss, one of the managers in the room, told me the point of the meeting was to make us feel crappy when I asked what the follow-up was needed from me. I found a job within 2 weeks and left. 2 other people in that meeting quit within a month. A 4th is halfway out the door. Others found out about the meeting and so far, 4 additional staff have left. All 7 of us who quit, so far, have been there 3 years or more and our departures were no more than 2 months apart. Our total caseloads numbered roughly 120 clients, meaning that almost half of the organisation's clients are without staff to support them and there are now 5 new hires without mentors. One of the new hires quit because of this, making 8 people gone in 2 months. This turnover has never happened before. I left behind 3 years of stellar client relationships and high performance and outcomes and took with me the knowledge on everything from mandatory trainings to the billing protocol. Yep, that's right, I developed the billing protocol for the new database and no one had stepped up to learn it prior. Sucks to be you, I guess. Moral of the story, if you tell staff they're replaceable, their answer will be, so are you. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. I wonder how the assistant director is getting on now, or has she just been completely fired and banned from the sector? Yes sir, I'll be happy to honour your expired coupon. The guys over at Tales from the front desk sent me here. I just remembered this one from a few years back. I worked nights at a hotel. Back then, the manager would place ads with coupons advertising rooms at a discount. In general, these coupons were a real pain in the ass. They clearly said not valid on weekends or holidays and had expiration dates. I would regularly have to argue with guests because they were trying to use them in violation of the terms. Anyway, one day this guy comes in and slaps a magazine with one of our coupons down on the desk and stares me down. I sigh internally and look at the coupon. It's a couple months out of date. Our rate for the night is... I know the rate, it says it right here. He jabs his finger into the magazine, just about punching a hole in our marble counter. Now, you're going to honour this coupon or I'm going to call my friend who owns the company. I really want to tell him to go ahead because if he really knew the owner, he'd know that the company is a franchise and each hotel is privately owned. Instead, what I say is, absolutely sir. You see, what I was going to tell him before he cut me off was that his coupon was out of date and from the height of tourist season. Since the season was over and we'd already gotten snow, our regular nightly rate was almost half of what his coupon said. Since he was insistent that I honour it, I saw no reason not to charge him almost double what everyone else was paying. I definitely think he paid the correct price. The other half was his a-hole tax. We agreed to swap chores with each other. So I received a phone call from a coworker out of the blue. These sorts of abrupt calls are usually always about favours or money lending. Indeed, before long, she asked me if I could help her with moving furniture because she was relocating. An important detail is that I also happened to be ready to move out of my apartment and into a house around the same time. Anyway, I told her it would be no trouble to help her with the move. And that was that, or so I thought. A day or two later I get a call, and she wants to know how much I want to be paid for moving. I tell her that I was intending to help her move for free, and I genuinely meant it. She insists that it wouldn't be right for me to go unpaid, and then I get an idea. I actually don't own a vacuum cleaner, so I asked her if she had one. She said yes, and I said, well, this actually worked out perfectly then. Once I get all my furniture out of my apartment, you can just come over with your vacuum and clean my apartment up, in exchange for me helping you with your move. And she agreed. Well, today I received a voicemail from her that told me she wouldn't be able to clean my apartment. I returned her call and asked her if I could come pick up the vacuum so I could do the cleaning myself. She said okay, so I went to go get it. While I was there, she apologised for changing her mind about cleaning, and I said it was no trouble. It's not a big deal for me to clean it myself. Then she said, yeah, I thought you should just stop being lazy and clean your apartment yourself. I took the vacuum and vacuumed and then returned it. While I was there, she wanted to confirm that I was still available for helping her to move out when the time came. I told her, no, the deal was that you cleaned my apartment in exchange for helping you move, but you never cleaned my apartment. It seriously baffles me why she insisted on this arrangement in the first place. If she just left well enough alone, I'd have been happy to move her dresser and couch for nothing in return. Yeah, that was an incredibly generous offer from OP to begin with, and then it was the co-worker who brought up payment and how it wouldn't be right. I definitely wouldn't have been as nice as OP and just told her to not be so lazy and move all of her stuff herself. ID everyone no matter their age? Okay, here comes the owner. Sorry, on mobile, so hope formatting is okay. This took place back when I was 16, so many moons ago. I worked at a local pizza place in my hometown and was the youngest employee. This led to me being treated kinda crappy by the manager. It didn't help that my older sister worked there too and didn't treat me super awesome either. This was in Louisiana, and at the time, video poker machines were very popular. We had a little room that had 4 machines, and it was the job of any employee able to ID those going in. Now, obviously those clearly above the age of 35, we didn't even think twice on letting them in, and truthfully, it was more like anyone that looked over 25. My boss was on my case all the time, constantly, and kept pestering me to just check every ID, no exceptions, and I would be in trouble if I didn't. He didn't hound anyone else, just me. It wasn't to follow the law, but rather he wanted to find anything he could to chew me out over. So finally, after getting super tired of always being picked on, I decided to make sure I followed everything, to the T. Look 25, carded. Look 40, carded. Look 60, carded. Enter a gentleman who looked maybe mid-60s at least. He heads to the video poker room and I stop him and say, "Excuse me sir, I need to see your ID. I've been told to card everyone, no exceptions." He smiles and is totally cool about it, and it's at this point that my manager takes notice and practically runs over, tossing out apologies and that I'm a young employee, and even a not so quiet remark about me not being the brightest. Turns out, this guy, he's the owner. Not the guy who was the original creator and still face of the business, but the gentleman he'd sold the business to. He proceeds to make sure my manager knows that not only was I doing my job, but I did it politely and seemed like a good employee. A week or so later, my manager grumbles to me that I'm to be given a bonus on my paycheck for a job well done. From that moment on, if this guy came in, he made sure to say hi to me and ask how it was going. My manager began to treat me a little better, out of fear that I would rat him out to the owner. Not only about his treatment of me, but how often he went out the back to smoke weed. But hey, he told me to card everyone, so I did. That owner sounds like a complete badass, stuck up for the young employee and give them a bonus on his paycheck. What a legend. I can't order a drink, you say? The company I work for is going on a bit of a hiring spree, and that means a lot of interviews. Because many of those applying still have jobs, we sometimes do interviews very early or very late in the day. This was one of these days. When this happens, the company will provide breakfast from the local coffee shop for those coming in early to interview. This is a nice little perk, and today is the first opportunity I've had to take advantage of it. Being the sort of person I am, I made a fairly minimal order of a cheese pastry and a latte. I wasn't particularly interested in wasting the company's money on a nice breakfast. Shortly after I emailed my order, I was returned an email that said they were only providing food, not drinks, for breakfast, citing price savings and the fact that the office has a coffee machine. This was a bit irritating, as I had made an order that was below the average cost of a breakfast item at the shop. So I replied, asking in that case to change my order. I found by far the most expensive item on their breakfast menu, but I did absolutely make sure there was no doubt this item was in the breakfast section. It is, after all, a bagel, with cream cheese, and scrambled egg, and fried egg, and 4 different types of cheese, and ham, and sausage, and steak, and bacon, and avocado, and spinach, and tomato, but a bagel nonetheless. My order was accepted. It was inedible. Well, inedible as a bagel. I poured it all out into a plate and ate it with a knife and fork, half for breakfast and half for lunch. Oh, and it cost 4 times what my original order cost, which was rejected because I wanted a damn cup of coffee. Wow. That's also like a bit of petty revenge there as well. So that's all for r/MaliciousCompliance. I really hope you did enjoy it. As always, if you do want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe. My Twitter, Discord and Patreon links are in the description, and any support is greatly appreciated. And as it's Sunday, I also want to say a massive thank you to my wonderful patrons. BackwardsDDog, Tyler Miller, Jen Burton, Jen Spanning, Bo Walker, Princess Kate, Skyler A, Elizabeth Filmore, Stephen Arnowitt, Anonymous, Shagar, Koltin, Bruce Reed, and James Scanlan. Thank you all so much for your support. Mwah. That's for you, but keep it between us, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Bye!